Hello, people of OLPH. I'm back once again to give you this message and to send you the greetings that we have. And we've been having some decent news coming from our government officials and from our church officials as well, talking about how that there is prospective reopening of the schools here might be coming quickly for us. So we're hoping and praying that if the schools are going to be reopened, then we're next, hopefully. So keep that in your prayers because we all want to join one another in the church building sooner rather than later. And so as we gather with all this, let us remember that in our regular prayers. But also too, this is a time of year when Labor Day is right around the corner. And so at this time of Labor Day, hopefully on that holiday itself, there will be people where there'll be families that will be able to gather together to have a traditional Labor Day barbecue and celebrate the work that we do throughout the year, the work that we do to provide for our families, but also the work that we do in the Lord's vineyard, because that is a gift from God that He allows us to be laborers in His vineyard. And so on that Labor Day, when we're doing whatever we're doing, going to the beach or having festivities at home, whatever it is that we do on Labor Day, let us take a time, take a moment out of that day and remember to thank God for the gift of counting us worthy to be laborers in His vineyard. But also, too, one of the patrons of the church is St. Joseph. And so we have this patron saint who is also known as St. Joseph the Worker, because we honor his work that he did to provide for Jesus and for Mary. And so this week's challenge will be, attached to this message, will be a prayer to St. Joseph the Worker. So maybe we could make that a part of our regular prayer for the next week or so. And maybe on Labor Day as a family, let us gather together and pray that prayer so that all of us together can honor the work that God has called us to, and honor the work that provides for us, provides food for our tables, and also provides for our parish as a whole. We have some very wonderful people who have labored in various ways around the parish to enhance our worship and to allow worship to continue here. The people that have got together to build the platform that we celebrate Mass on every day. The people that have come together in various ways to help us with our makeshift sacristy that we have, that help us with the sound system that in order to celebrate Mass. And all those things we give thanks to God for, and we give thanks to God that He allowed us to be a part of enhancing the worship and enhancing the spirituality of those who are around us. And also, too, in this time, we've all been affected in various ways by this COVID. All of us have had to make sacrifices. Have had to it's touched us either physically or for many of us, it's touched us financially. And that's one thing that I would like to say is that it's even touched the parish that way financially. It's not that we're looking to fire people because we can't pay them. That's not the case. But it has touched us financially, and there have been some cutbacks that we've had to do here at the parish as well. Some cutbacks on some expenditures, some cutbacks with dealing with some of the employees on the amount of hours that some people are working, things like that. And so we would just ask that if you have the opportunity, if you have the means, to continue to be generous, to the parish, so that all of us can experience the enhanced worship. And it's not that our worship equals the amount of money we give. That's not true at all. But our tithing and our giving to our parish helps us and our parish as a whole. For those who can give much and those who can only give the widow's penance, or the widow's pence, excuse me, the wrong word. And so so whatever it is, whether it's a penny or whether it's $1, whatever it may be that we can give, goes to help all of us. It goes to enhance our worship, and it goes to enhance our parish, not only for the now, but for the generations to come. OLPH has a wonderful history of people being giving all that they can and all that they are, both not only in a financial way, but also in a physical and a spiritual way of creating a parish that is very vibrant, a parish that has a lot to offer one another. And so we want to make that true for the generations to come, to come in the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years as they come. As our children become adults and have children of their own, we always want OLPH to be a place where they are spiritually edified and a place that they can look back if they decide to move elsewhere when they become adults. That they can always look back and look and smile when they think about their time at OLPH, because OLPH is a wonderful place to be. OLPH has a wonderful group of parishioners and a wonderful set of people who have made it what it is. And we want to continue that for the future generations. And so in this time where we're all touched in some way by what's going on, we would just ask that you remember your parish in those times, and so that we can continue to be that beacon of light that we have been for so many people, for so many generations here at OLPH. And so as we gather, as I said before, as we gather in this coming Labor Day, let us remember to thank God to allow for the opportunity to labor in his vineyard. And also, let us offer our prayer to St. Joseph the Worker, that he will help us through his prayers, his example, and through his guidance, that he will help us in our work, not only today, but through the rest of our life. You see, because oftentimes when we hear things about work, I'm not necessarily talking about the plowing of the fields, that our work can be made manifest in various ways. Some people, it's through physical labor. Some people, their work is to pray for others. You know, as we all have certain gifts, talents, and treasures throughout our whole life. Sometimes those change with our life experience. Sometimes as we get older, we can't work in the same way we did when we were younger. Sometimes as our spirituality becomes enhanced and we become greater beings closer to God, that oftentimes that can take precedence. So as we labor in God's vineyard, it's not just the plowing of the fields. It's not just the picking of the grapes in the vineyard. It can also be the praying for one another, the offering condolence to your brothers and sisters when they may be having, especially during this time, feeling the fullness of all that is heaped upon us. And so as we labor in the vineyard, all of us are called to a different task to which God has called us to do. Is one more important than the other? No, it's not. Why? Because it's accomplishing God's will. That's what's important, is we accomplish God's will for us. So we are all called to that task to which he has called us. And our job here is to accomplish that task to the best of our abilities, because we offer that our abilities and our labor and our work, we offer that back to God as our offering. And so in this time, as we're looking towards Labor Day coming up, let us remember that our labor matters. Our labor matters here now, but our labor also matters to God. And so he has called each one of us to be laborers in the vineyard. So let us all labor for him, because that labor that he has called us to will bring us all one step closer to him. And also, too, we remember St. Joseph the Worker especially during this time. And we ask for his prayers, for his guidance, and so that he may lead us closer to his earthly son, to whom he was the father figure for Jesus during his days here on earth. And so for each one of us, remember our prayer to St. Joseph that will be attached to this, and God bless you, and we will see you soon, and hopefully, I will see you soon inside the church, because we're keeping that in our prayers. And so all of us together will be praying that, so that we will be all gathered as one in the church building sooner rather than later. God bless you all, and have a great week. Bye-bye.